about to head into yoga. It's been 6 days since my last yoga class, which is a really long time for me. I planned on going yesterday, but I felt bad leaving Louie, and so I stayed in and just did like a foam roller on my body and realized how achy I am. I like that paying for a yoga membership equates to exercise meets therapy. I'm really excited to be back and to get into yoga. It always offers clarity in my brain and really a good release for my body, as well as a little bit of toning. All of those things are important to me, just not important enough that I am going to go to an actual gym. It is often said in the yoga community that what happens on our mat is metaphoric for real life, that the struggle, the frustration, the chattery mind, the inner bliss, all the things that we cultivate and experience while spending that hour to 75 minutes on our mat, we're also experiencing throughout the course of real life. I don't always recognize this. Sometimes yoga is just really blissful for me. Sometimes yoga is just about sore muscles. It's about getting to the mat. But today, I really recognized the metaphor for life. This is only my second class with this teacher. He's a big deal in our yoga community, I suppose, and he's a good teacher. His flows for me are a little bit confusing though, and he leads you through them 1.5 times and then sets you free on your own. And my ADHD insecurities go crazy. I'm supposed to be just feeling my body and flowing and experiencing, and instead I'm so stressed because I don't want to forget the move or how it goes, and I like going to yoga and just listening to what I'm supposed to do, and so it super stresses me out when the flow feels unfamiliar and then someone tells me, oh, do it yourself. It's then that I'm using my peripheral vision to look around at others and try to make sure that I'm on track, and I hate doing that. I also found myself checking the clock a couple times. I had this chatter in my brain that, why did I come to this class? Why did I come to this teacher? I'm not going to come to this anymore. Blah, 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 blah. For like a good amount of time. And then by the end of it, I felt amazing. I thought, oh, I'll try it again. This is where I'm supposed to be. He said little tidbits that align with some reading that I did this morning and truths that I'm trying to follow. So I do think that this was a class that I was supposed to be in, but my brain would not shut up. And my brain tried to ruin the experience with the chatter. And this felt so metaphoric because that's what we do in life. There were a few yoginis in there who were very flexible and much more advanced than I am. And I had to knock my ego to not be concerned about that. There were times when he gave cues that to me were very unclear, even though I know most of the poses. And I'm sure for the people who come to his class regularly, it was like a shorthand they perfectly understood. But that was stressful for me. I was sizing myself up when there was really no need to be doing that. And I was creating a disconnect between myself and the teacher because I didn't feel like I belonged. No one told me this. No one made me feel that way. But because he didn't ask my name and there wasn't this overt inclusion, I started creating a separation. At the end of the class, I did a full wheel pose or a bridge, and he came over and adjusted me, and it felt really good and like exactly what I needed. And then I was overcome with gratitude for this teacher that I had just been annoyed with for like 45 minutes. And I recognized right then that so many things that were firing were pieces that I take with me into most social situations, into a lot of experiences. So often, even when I'm trying to be present, I'm cataloging, why did I come here? I'm not going to do this again. Oh, this is nice. Oh, that person. Oh, this person. And there's this whole inner dialogue going on. He said something interesting about why we flow, why we have the one breath to one movement. And it's that our bodies we carry with us, but they're often disconnected from our brain. You can sit in a meeting, at a party, various places, and your body is there, but your mind is often elsewhere. I was hungry in class today, and I was thinking about my Trader Joe's run. I was thinking about the salad waiting for me at home. I shouldn't go anywhere hungry. That's another metaphor. But also true, my body was performing the yoga class, but my brain was at Trader Joe's. My brain was in the kitchen. My brain was at the sushi bar because I really want to go to happy hour sushi. My brain was at the tattoo parlor because tomorrow's Friday the 13th and we might go get $13 tattoos. My brain was so many places just now, and my body was on the mat. And then my body was getting frustrated because my brain said this is hard or this is a waste of time. And I wasn't allowed to reap the full benefits of the practice. Also, I didn't maybe push myself or take on the challenges as much as I would have if I had been fully present. Even more, he gave 2 30-second breaks where we could do a handstand or an arm balance or a this or a that. And I chose to kind of just rest and stretch the bottoms of my feet because they're really sore. And he said, work is important, hard work is important, but play is also important. And that is true, and I agree. But I found myself getting momentarily defensive, thinking, well, rest is important also, as if I needed to justify why I wasn't taking a handstand or a headstand or anything like that. And it was my ego saying, well, I know how to do a headstand, well, I could do this. But really, my body needed the rest, my feet needed the stretching, and no one cares what I do. So why do I need to create sort of a firing off? I just caught a glimpse of myself in the camera and you can only see part of my hands. And it made me think of Talladega Nights, one of my favorite Will Ferrell movies, when he starts being interviewed and is like, I don't know what to do with my hands. Let's try that again. Overall, even though my mind was much busier than it should have been in yoga, I felt good about my vlogs. I felt good about the purpose of doing the vlogs. I felt good about my ability to comfort my husband, about the many things I achieved yesterday, about starting to read The Power of Now, which we will talk about soon by Eckhart Tolle. I feel good. I feel good. I feel good. Even though so far there have just been a lot of car videos and true life confessions, I'm starting to feel so empowered about vlog life and just having this outlet. That reminded me of another thing that they said during yoga. He said that we do our practice to release our emotions and that we carry things with us that just get pent up and sort of stuck in us. And if we don't have a release, then we don't have a way to get that out. And I'm grateful for yoga as a release. I recognize that I use baths as a release also. Something about just like sweating and solitude is really helpful. And then great music. Spotify made this time capsule playlist of like high school jams. And on my way to Trader Joe's, I was rocking out to something corporate, No Doubt, TLC. And I felt so good, the format. And I realized that that was another release, and that when I deny myself these releases, I do carry around more shit. I like to think that Netflix is a release for me, but it's not. It just like presses more of the stuff down. What are your releases? If you're not a yogi, how do you get your stuff out?